Just 80 minutes of rugby lie between these teams and a place in the grand final. Eastwood have dominated the season, are fresh off a week's break and determined to give their home fans plenty to cheer about. But Randwick were the side that ended the Woodies season last year. Can they regroup from their bruising encounter last week and do it again? This is the Woodies hosting the Wicks in the first elimination final of the Shute Shield. Hello, I'm Stephanie Brandt. It's great to have you with us once again at TG Milner Field, a ground the Woodies have made somewhat of a fortress this season, undefeated so far on home turf. Well, it was Randwick that had home ground advantage last week, and the Wicks have had just 6 days to recover and prepare for what will be their toughest test yet. Well, before we get the team news for today, let's remind ourselves of what the Wicks and Manly, who play tomorrow, went through last week to earn an appearance here this weekend.
On the advantage line pretty much. Standing pretty deep. Evans to Holmes. Holmes has got a big gap. Holmes has got plenty of pace. One to beat. Oh, what a beautiful step from Zach Holmes. On his way to the posts. And Norths are in.
Brilliant start. Brilliant play.
Evans. Well, there's a chance here. It's just through the hands. Murray. Try.
Wow.
For Manly. Cotty.
Offside, I think.
Rippier, wide ball through the hand. No, Seymour will do it on his own. And Seymour is around for the first for the Marlins. Evans. Just about through. Claimed the second time by Martiki.
Penalty. Yeah.
2 minutes in a row. He needs to roll better than that.
You got to make more of an effort.
Tony Ali turning that.
Rippier, Neville. Oh, and he's away again. Hooper. Seymour in for his second. Yes. And he'll come around behind the post because he's kicking. Andrew Smith is through. Brought down from behind, but here's Hooper. Rippier, is he there? Oh, he's lost it. But now it's been grounded. Nice footwork from Sailor. Hegarty. Oh, what a run from Hegarty. Does he get there? He sure does. Cotty. Rippier. And in for the try, Caden Neville. We were just talking about him and he delivers. And that will deliver Manly another week in the playoffs. For Manly, 2 tries to Seymour, others to Hegarty, Neville and Cotty. Seymour and Rippier shared the kicking. For Norths, their 2 tries to Zach Holmes and Ben Murray came pretty early. Zach Holmes, as always, accurate with the boot. But Manly, 34-23 winners. Brown.
Forward advantage.
Levin, Anton Levin, I don't think they'll catch him. Ethan Ford giving good chase, but he puts the foot down, Anton Levin, and scores the first try. Not quite.
Advantage. Yep. Got him.
Need to go through the hands and they'll do it. Ethan Ford. Maka. Offloaded to Foley. Over. 15.5 minutes into the second half. A 2-point game. Surely he's offside, Ford. Anderson cleaned up by Ford. He's got it. Ethan Ford.
Got it.
Oh. Neo Alangahu, a metre short. Moen. He's got there.
Come here, please. Scrum's down on your side. Knees on the ground. There you go, thanks.
Stephen Noriega has gone for 10. Hodgson at his feet. It's with Hodgson. Shaw.
Offside.
Take the shot. That's hit it well. Black dot. Perfect.
Randwick back in front.
Thumped it. Absolutely thumped it. That is a kick and a half under pressure.
Randwick 28-26 and 3 tries to 2. Moen, Ford and Foley for Randwick. Anton Levin for East and a penalty try. The crucial difference, Toby Brown's last gasp penalty goal. Randwick by 2 points.
So Randwick did enough last week, but Steve Rebellion today is a much bigger ask.
Look, it is difficult to make a case for Randwick, Steph, but this is a well-travelled road for the boys from Coogee. The tougher it gets, the better they seem to like it. But, Brett, I don't think it'd get much tougher than today, taking on the minor premiers at home. What'll be Eastwood's mindset today?
Well, that's the question for me. I mean, everything points to an Eastwood victory today, and it is in their minds, I suppose, if they turn up and their intensity is good. Look, they should win comfortably. But that's not always the way it works in rugby, as we know. Randwick will be up. There's no doubt about their mindset. They'll be ready to go.
Let's have a look at the Eastwood team sheet, and they're tougher than a couple of weeks ago. Ben Hand is back, Lockie Turner, Nick White.
Yeah, no, it's a terrific team, and I think the great strength is the bulk of them have played together all year. They've been very fortunate with injuries. Nick White and Pierre Holler have been outstanding in the halves. Lockie Turner, we know he's been unlucky not to be in New Zealand. Their centres, the speed out wide, the back row is good. Look, they've had a great year, but it'll all be for nothing if they can't get the job done today.
Yeah, the Woodies have had that week off, so how switched on will they be?
Well, we put in an extra training session this week, so that was good, and I think it was really good for the team as a couple of guys needed a bit of a break and recover.
Few injuries you're dealing with?
Not so much injuries, it's just more playing for 22 rounds. A few people do need a break every now and then.
And a good battle of the back rows today.
It's going to be an exciting one. Really looking forward to it.
Now to Randwick. Now, battle-weary but confident.
And they should be. The corresponding game last year that they got away with a win against Eastwood. Look, interesting forward pack. Lala Lamb missing from this team. He's injured. Adam Fryer also not playing today. But with Maxwell in the 6 jersey on the side of the scrum, very good line-out. Moen, Ingram and Maxwell. They'll be tough at the breakdown. They're good in the halves. Josh Valentine was outstanding last week. Tim Wright comes in at 13. And Foley Sean at the back, he's in terrific form.
Yeah, it's a long injury list and a short week for Randwick. So how prepared are they for this one after that tough game against East?
Yeah, last week was definitely one of our stronger defensive performances. The last 5 minutes, it's something we've been working on for a few weeks now, and something we're going to need to bring in today and be able to complete at 100%.
Looks like a very fast field this afternoon, and a great battle of back rows up against Chris Alcock. That'll be a good battle.
Yeah, something I'm excited about. It's going to be a fast-moving game, and it's going to be a test to who can get to the ball first.
Well, perhaps the biggest concern for Eastwood will be that dreaded enemy within, complacency. Let's see how John Morrison views it in his chat with Steph.
Thanks, Steve. Well, I think even despite his form, John's certainly not complacent. But wouldn't it be an upset today if Randwick were to get over the top?
Well, I think it's only Randwick and their supporters who really think they'll be winning this match. Everyone else is fairly certain Eastwood will be playing another grand final. But Randwick themselves are no strangers to playing football in September. And it was this match last year where they knocked Eastwood out. Eastwood were then minor premiers. So complacency will be a danger for both sides, but also a motivator as well.
And tell me, coming into this one, does Randwick's defence concern you?
Well, the last 4 weeks of Randwick's defence worry me. On average, they've conceded 49 points in their last 4 matches compared to their season average of 29. So that does worry any coach going into a semi-final.
All right, so that probably suggests which way you're going to tip.
Yeah, I'll be tipping Eastwood, Steph. You knew that?
I did. We'll see how you go, John. Thank you very much. Let's go back up to Steve and Brett.
Steph and John, thank you. From this game this afternoon will emerge our first grand finalist. Will it be Eastwood, who topped the table after 22 rounds, or Randwick, who avoided sudden death last week with that gutsy win over Eastern Suburbs? Good crowd in, you'd expect it. They've been overjoyed in this district about the season put together by the Woodies. And they've turned out in good numbers. Well, even before this game starts, Brett, I reckon this is a room full of fairly sore bodies.
Yeah, they got knocked around last week. Certainly from an injury point of view, it hasn't been a great year for them. They've been a bit decimated. But they'll be patched up. They'll be fit enough to take the field and give 80 minutes of hell to Eastwood. And they'll be in it, I think, for some way. Whether they can contain this Eastwood team, that remains to be seen. But Eastwood have got to get out there and play. It's not done until the full-time whistle is blown.
Yeah, a significant weight of expectation on the shoulders of these lads, having won the minor premiership so convincingly by some 17 points. Well, TG Milner's held up particularly well in 2011. It should be a good stage again for this first preliminary final, but let's check it out once more through the eyes of Louise Ransom. Lou.
Well, Steve, it feels like a summer's day in springtime. The temperature's in the high 20s, so player comfort should be a key factor today. As far as the ground, it looks in perfect condition, except for just a small brown patch in the middle, but it's held up so well over the season. And the grass is cut quite short as well, which should encourage a fast game. And Steve, the crowd's really growing here, and you get the sense that grand final is just 1 week away.
Yeah, it's a great atmosphere here. As Randwick file onto the ground, it is very firm. It's a while since we've had rain. I guess they watered the pitch during the week.
I'm pretty sure the groundsman's on top of all of that. It's pretty good grass growing conditions if you stick a bit of water on there. It's easier to manage, in fact, without rain.
Tim Maxwell and Tim McGann, the two Tims, a lot expected of them. And here is the Randwick lineup. And Tim Wright wasn't in the 15 at the start of the week. Maka was there, but he's obviously recovered well enough to take his place.
Yeah, good player, Tim Wright. He'll be a valuable addition. I think Maka on the bench also might be used a little later. Some great competitors in this team. Ben Mowen, obviously a good addition, but Tim McGann and Tim Maxwell, great competitors. Tim Maxwell, one of the great Randwick men.
And Hugh Parrott leads out the Eastwood side. Very generous applause. Ben Hand, well, he's come back from a wrist injury, fairly serious one. At least we hope it's 100% for him.
I think he's fit to go, ready to rock and roll. They need him. They've been decimated in the second rows. They're happy to have him back too, Lockie Turner.
Yeah, so Turner and Grant on the wing, two of the fastest men in Sydney apparently after that race.
Yes. No, they're blessed with speed. They've got strength in the centres. I should make mention, we talk a lot about the same guys in this team. Pierre Holland leading point scorer, John Grant leading try scorer, but Damien Fitzpatrick, since he's come back from some injury during Super 15, he has been outstanding, almost an extra back rower. He's in great form. 10
tries for Fitzpatrick. So Nathan Pearce in control of this game. He's got some very good help today, including our TMO. Today will be George Ayub, and on the sidelines for us, Stu Dickinson and Angus Gardner. Pierre Holler, what a year he's had.
Good.
33 years young and wants to back up next year, we understand. Why not? He's had a stellar year. Away we go. Winner through to the grand final. Season over for the beaten side today as McFarlane takes it first up for Randwick. A little bit of a loose ball there, and Eastwood have come away with it right in front of the post. A golden opportunity here as White gives it to big Barry Farmacelli. Just a metre or two short. Trying to barge their way over very early, and it's a try, or we're going to have a look. Nathan Pearce is having a look.
29 seconds on the clock when the whistle went.
Well,
that's Mitch Lees.
Yeah, I can see that.
He nearly lost it there. Ooh, well.
It's hard to tell whether that's on the line regardless.
Yes.
Could I?
It looks short.
Yeah, it looks short to me.
Yeah. Not quite there. It looks like green grass between the ball and the white.
Nathan's got a fair view of it. Interesting to see what happens here. If it's an Eastwood scrum feed, Randwick's still under enormous pressure. Interesting turnover.
There's two questions there, really, whether he's kept control of it and whether he's short of the line.
PC Georgie here.
Yeah, George.
Players landed short of the line.
So I'll have a scrum 5
Scrum
out.
5 out.
So Mitch Lee's not quite there.
No, just a scrum. I pulled it up.
And I think if Eastwood watched the scrums last week at Coogee, they'll attempt to attack them here. But either way, Lockie Turner on the right wing. Bit of space.
Touch. Pause. Engage.
So heavily stacked left, Eastwood. So they shuffle right, of course. White, there's a gap for him, and White is through. Welcome back. He's too quick to leave alone like that.
Yeah. It's a very difficult scrum to defend because you've got to focus so much on the scrum. They know Lockie Turner's out wide. They had them for numbers. There were certainly enough defenders there, but they're all a bit worried. Too much, just too many yards for him to run. And he's quick. He's had a good year. He's keeping James Stannard on the bench.
Australian under-20s player out of St Gregory's, Campbelltown, and
great player.
What a prospect.
Yeah.
And with a quick pass, an accurate long pass, and that's given Pierre Holler, this man, so much time this year.
Well, they needed to start well, and a try after a minute is certainly doing that.
Holler's taken this a long way back.
And missed it. Interesting. That's not necessarily the day you want to have on preliminary final day.
Well, let's have a look at this. It is just nearly impossible to defend. You saw Tim Maxwell there. He was just caught out. Sean Foley, well, it was awkward for him to defend that close. McCaffrey created extra man, and that was enough to have doubt in the defence. 5 points up.
Eastwood on the front foot early. Can they keep the foot down, as it were? Perrott. White. There looks to be plenty of go forward in this Eastwood pack after their rest. Holler just pops that up. And Tom Joseph in the team this week. After the injury to Pakalani last week, so they've had a really rough run, Randwick. They lost Lala Lamb, Adam Fryer, and Pakalani out of last week.
Pillar, take another step. On the defensive pillar.
Perrott takes it. White thought he spotted a gap, but quickly closed on him. 10 metres inside the Randwick half.
On here, Maxi, on.
Thomasili.
Away, Green!
Alcock into half. And
5 roll, please. Not there.
Discretion there from Randwick, not releasing.
They're not getting out of there quickly enough, but they will be desperate. They'll push this breakdown law to the limit, Randwick. They have to limit the speed of ball Eastwood get. A big day in lower grades, obviously. The winners today through to the grand final next week. Minor Premiers East have had a win in 4th grade. University came from behind. West Harbour, I thought, were home. They weren't, and in 2nd grade, Eastwood, a good solid win against Randwick, who finished 6th and did well to be here today. But Eastwood through to the grand final next week, and they'll all play the winner of tomorrow's games.
Could be a grim day for the Wicks if they do not win this game. That would be 3 sides out today. But we're a long way from that conclusion. Now, Holler. See if he can find the radar this time.
Just kicking into a slight breeze. Not much, just a slight one.
Whoa, wait a minute. Brown has been smashed right in front of the line by Mitch Lees.
And they've scored.
Tim Bennett's.
Well, Mitch Lees, what a start. The only bloke who chased it. Everyone else said that's either going through or dead. And the ball came loose. Tim Bennett said, that's the easiest one I'll ever score. Pierre Holler thought he'd kicked it. He'd actually backed up after he struck it. And Mitch Lees, that is superb. Take a bow.
And he's towed it through as well. It was his foot on the ball to create the loose ball here. And Bennett's swoops. Well, what a terrible start for Randwick and an ideal one for the minor premiers.
It's the work you do that no one else thinks you need to do, and it occasionally pays off.
Coaches call them the little 1%ers.
Yeah, it's the off-the-ball stuff that normally doesn't get noticed, except when a ball hits the goalpost and you're in the right place.
Yeah. That said, it was a shocking bounce after it hit the post.
Yeah, it landed in the in goal.
And then came back out. Yeah. Holler well outside the 22 for this one.
And he's missed that one.
Oh, goodness. 0 from 3.
Well, as you say, it's the chase that comes on the kick which turns it all around, and it comes off the upright, just let to bounce by a couple of players who should know a lot better. Mitch Lees was exceptional. Got straight to his feet, drove over the ball. Everything is right. It shot through the back. Bennett's the man on the spot.
All right, White.
Stop two.
Good
now.
kick to open spaces, and they've got it again. Watch out. Turner. Fitzpatrick.
He's dropped that. No.
Oh, my goodness. They could have had 2 in 90 seconds.
Knock on. And he stopped. He stayed way out of it to get no advantage from it.
Well, no, it isn't, Mr. Ground Announcer. It isn't. The luck has turned for Randwick.
Knock on.
He won't want to see that again.
No, I'm the ref. I know the law.
Dear.
It's a scrum. Trust me, please.
Well,
KB7.
He was winding up for that dive, wasn't he?
there is an argument for just putting the ball down, isn't there?
I think a very strong one, and he'll be told that, I would think, at half-time.
Well, maybe later the boys won't let him forget
Pause. Engage.
Don't put that on your show reel.
It's a great kick from White, though. Found space.
Valentine.
Oh, dear,
Carried over. 5 metre scrum.
The mines are still in the sheds, I think.
Mayhem. What were they? They were attempting to run, were they? Or I mean, they're in goal. Oh no, it was sloppy. It was Valentine under pressure. So
I think he thought he could beat the tackle of McCaffrey, who just did enough to put him off his step.
Well, it's a scrum under pressure which created a bit of a nightmare for Josh Valentine, who ultimately did pretty well not to get tackled.
Engage.
I'd suggest that Eastwood would also go to the right again, wouldn't it?
Onside
They might keep the heat on here, John.
Oh, they might too.
McCaffrey has it at his feet. McCaffrey. Valentine drifting just about offside. McCaffrey will just... Oh, not quite, but there's one for White. McCaffrey shuffled it backwards. White picked up the crumbs. And another try for Eastwood. Their third in 9 minutes.
Should have been their fourth. That's... oh, dear. Yeah. Well, everything's turning to gold except for Fitzy. But a good scrum. Lucky, I think, to be allowed to continue after it came up. He nearly blew his whistle, Nathan Pearce, but McCaffrey just got it clear in time. Thought he was going to score himself, didn't matter.
He went the unexpected short side, I think, because the scrum was moving the other way. Shuffled it backwards along the ground. White, good hands. Thank you.
Pierre is going to be kicking from this spot. He'll be very familiar with it by now.
It's the same spot.
He's using
Come in a bit closer, Pierre.
Yeah, I think so too. It just increases your margin for error, but I'm guessing he's learned.
No, he hasn't.
Pushed it.
No, he hasn't.
Oh, well.
I'll tell you
it could
what,
be anything.
If everything's turning to gold for Eastwood, it's turning to straw for Randwick, isn't it? Just, their heads are still in the sheds by the looks of all this. They're just not getting anything to run their way. Even allowing White to come around for that extra few yards, not that it made any difference in the long run, just shows they're not in this game at the moment.
Well, they've got some ball. They've got a scrum feed in the opposition half. Bit of a knock on. It was a very good restart.
Yeah, it was good, but not great.
You know, there's no reason it should be 21-0 after 10 minutes.
With a drop ball over the line.
Absolutely. Crouch! It almost takes you back to that start in the 2000 test, doesn't it? The All Blacks Wallabies game. How many? 4 tries.
24-0 at 7.5 minutes.
Yeah.
McFarlane. And each forwards left it behind. Absolutely nothing going right.
There is a positive.
Can only get better?
Yeah, it can only get better. There will be a momentum swing at some point, and they'll get ball, and they'll get Eastwood errors. It will happen. They just need to knuckle down.
Well, there's just a few heads around the field that are just dropping on those sorts of things.
Well, they shouldn't, because let's face it, it could easily be 28. It's only 15. And you know, if they next to score, they're well in it.
Rock steady scrum from Eastwood. McCaffrey peels off at Holler. Pukala Pukala bursts through a couple.
Back round.
Oops, some confusion about who was going to take that. White.
That's fine.
Absolutely buried McCann.
You got to stay up, please.
No, it was Jeff Ingram making that big tackle.
You heard Nathan Pearce say, no, that's fine. No problem at all.
What did I?
Oh, he had some help. There was Moen and Ingram.
Yeah, way too late to tackle.
Gosh, run into the 2 second rowers.
Note to Nick White.
Yeah, and it's a ruck, so you can't come back through that side. Yeah, we'll do. We'll do.
Okay, well.
It's the size of the fight in the dog, John.
Yes. You know, sometimes discretion is better.
But then there's that thing that dogs actually don't know how big they are.
Yeah, no, that's right. I don't think Nick knows he's not big.
Alangahu with a throw in for Randwick. How many lineouts have we had?
Couple.
Yeah.
Two.
White. Off the outside of the right boot. Not a bad effort. Although he's not happy.
I'm not sure what he's unhappy about. Things are going pretty well.
He's only got 2 tries. 2 of the 3 tries for Nick White and the other to Tim Bennett. Yes, 3 tries to 0, folks, in the first 12 minutes if you're joining us. McCann takes it up for Randwick. Valentine to Moen. Almost to the 22. All right, an opportunity for Randwick. Brown to Keary. Beverly hasn't really crossed the advantage line this time. The through goes Noriega. Stephen Noriega, hard man to stop. Valentine, they've got some momentum here. Foley away from one. Tom Joseph. Got it back to Foley somehow, just slipped him the pass. Valentine driven back and a great tackle.
Look at that onside blue, first defender.
Randwick just getting themselves set here. Strong pod of 4 ready to march it forward. Again to half. Might be called out of it by Valentine. And some aggressive counter-rucking. Fitzpatrick was offside coming in that way. Still with the Wicks. 10 out, needing a score. 9 phases.
Advantage. 2 blue entry.
Yeah, wrong entry again from Fitzpatrick. As Ben Moen takes it a little closer to the posts, opening it up both sides. Left they go. Brown back on the inside. Joseph.
Yeah. Still playing advantage.
Valentine got numbers. Brown is there. Did he get it down?
I just want to check that
sure.
grounding,
Neither's Nathan Pearce. Have to have a look. Desperate lunge made at it by the defence.
Still playing advantage for back over here.
I can't see. Well, unless.
Oh, he has lost it.
He did lose it. That's bad luck. That's
right.
desperate
That's
defence. Chris Alcock.
Yeah, we'll go back over there
scores.
if it's no try.
He's, from there, there's no doubt, is there?
Yeah.
He's over.
Yeah, except Alcock says...
No, I get a hand in there. No, that's no try.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a clever play by Alcock, isn't it?
Yeah, George.
Players knocked the ball on as he...
We'll go back over here for the penalty, no advantage.
So that's 2 near certain tries denied.
That's just having your wits about you for Alcock there, isn't it? There was nothing he could do tackle-wise, but just to slide that hand in less than...
2 blue, entry.
What, half a metre above the ground and turn a certain try into no try.
So what happens here? Do they take 3 to get within 2 converted tries, John? Or?
I would take the rolling maul because they've just settled themselves through a 12-phase play there. I thought that was a really good play. Just settle themselves, play them into this match, keep the pressure on Eastwood.
Rolling maul. Whoa!
It's come out a little quicker than they expected. Brown. Joseph. It opens up for Tom Joseph, and he's there this time.
Georgie.
I think.
I just want to check that, sorry, mate. That's 3 already.
Alcock
again
has put his body on the line with goalpost approaching.
I think the goalpost has come off second best, just quietly.
Oh, I can't see that. That looks fine. They've wrapped themselves around the goalpost here.
Oh, no, they're having to replace that upright, I think.
It's hurt.
Oh, that's a body in the way. That looked okay.
That's fine. Yeah. Looked okay. It's a bit easy, actually. A big gap appeared. Well-worked move. Blind winger off Toby Brown.
PC?
Yeah, George.
Try.
So try to Tom Joseph. He's come in this week after
Just on this post.
injuries across the park for Randwick last week.
Thanks, George. Take a break
we've
now.
remarked in the past, played for Lebanon in Rugby League World Cup qualifiers. Gets himself a try here in the preliminary final.
Well-worked move and confusion in the defensive line. The two Eastwood centres, they weren't sure who to take. It was a good decoy run here. Don't know who it was. Who is it? There he goes. I'd have tried to tackle him too. Tim Wright it was.
Tim Wright coming in, but clever play, wasn't it? The fact that Randwick were only behind by 8 points after the 20 minutes they've had, it's just very, very lucky. But that ball, as you said, shot out of the line out a little bit too quickly, so that maybe just caught Eastwood out a fraction.
And all credit to Randwick for backing themselves with the penalty. Oh, McFarlane's dropped it, and Eastwood could answer immediatally.
Well, he heard the big footsteps of John Grant approaching and had a sneaky look. It was a good chase. Grant was sprinting from the kickoff, and Al McFarlane knew it.
McFarlane was looking to take off to the open side straight away. But how often have we talked about, particularly in recent weeks, the kickoff, the restart is your critical moment. Just got to make sure it's your ball.
Make sure you retire behind the ball, please. Don't stand in front of it.
Yeah, look good.
Got to be more than switched on, haven't you, John? You've got to be committed. And
I think you nearly need to know what you're going to be doing. And he did 2 things without going through on it.
White holds on to it and darts back towards the line. White for the corner. Oh, he's too good.
Well, 3 in 16 minutes for the halfback, and how good is he? It was a very interesting backline alignment there from Eastwood. I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but it was that what Nick White drifted a little wide, was going to pick up a runner, and ends up beating 4. Step, catch me if you can. Too good.
And this is the man who is keeping Stannard out of the starting lineup because he is this good. Wrong-footed the defence. My goodness, what a match. 5 tries already.
And when you watch the replay again, which you'll get a chance to, the dummy that Nick White threw, you watch the Randwick defenders' faces. They all followed where the ball was going. They just completely were sold by the dummy. And off he'd gone the other direction. Like a thief in the night.
Yes, he sold more dummies than mother cares.
Like a cat on a hot tin roof, Brett.
Exactly.
He's in good form, isn't he? He's enjoyed the week off.
Holler's just as likely to kick this one now. He's most difficult.
Slight bit of breeze.
He's 0 for 4.
And that's swinging wide.
Oh dear.
Think what could have happened. But you'll see what happens at the back of this the scrum here. He's just wrong-footed and completely. He beats Joseph, is it on the inside there? And just steps back inside. Valentine's left flat-footed. Tim Maxwell's left flat-footed. They can't get there. It's all against the run of play. That's just seeing what's in front, playing what's in front. You hear that expression, but that's it in action.
Toby Brown looked left, couldn't see the ball, so he looked further left and still couldn't see it. It had gone the other way. To his left it was. All right, Fitzpatrick. Oh, here's trouble, but it's away from Farmasili. Pierre Holler. Little chip, but down the throat of Valentine. Nothing on offer to his left, so he takes on the defence.
Onside, Barry.
Alangahu into half.
Offside advantage.
He just picks and goes. And there's a penalty accruing for Randwick.
What do you do here, Brett? I'm saying tote the points.
10.
Brown's hitting him well.
You also.
Keep in touch.
Have a shot.
I would.
Well, worked last time. And I'll give it another try.
Yeah. Well, in some ways it didn't work because it didn't quite work on the line-out, but the end result was okay. Now if they can control it on that rolling ball, they might close the gap. I don't know. There's just something about keeping in touch that I like on these games. Straightish.
Not contested though, so let it go.
Yeah, agreed.
McGann at the back. Tim Maxwell being called to the back of the ruck also. McGann stopped by Fitzpatrick and Kieran Longbottom. It's slow. Ingram, only 3 or 4 metres now. Valentine. Moen trying to hold him up. They're doing that. He's managed to lay it back. Valentine could have used the referee there. Takiri got it away. And Bennett has to roll out of the way. Randwick give up a penalty, holding on. Gee, I thought Valentine had a chance there.
A little snipe on his own, perhaps?
Well, just...
he's on his feet.
Nathan Pearce was his friend there, whether he knew it or not.
I think Nick White might have had a go. The great defence. It was excellent defence.
Standing, yeah.
But Takiri holding a wrist, that doesn't look good.
No.
But there was excellent work, not only with the tackles made, but the support there to contest the ball.
Outside the line.
Yeah, that driving back on the line was just superb. And it means that each player is doing their job, but when the job is committed, he's got his teammates, he knows they'll be there too. So that's just great team play.
Play on. Takiri's not really in the line of fire. He might be in a moment. He's receiving attention.
Yeah, it's inside the 5.
So White's kick. It's to Ford. Ethan Ford. Oh, well, bounced out of that tackle very well. Holler is a little bit in the way there. Valentine retrieves the ball. Brown off to Noriega. Sorry, Cruzanao. Oh, some big hits. They keep them coming, Eastwood. McFarlane. Nice tackle by Ben Hand around the ankles. Moen goes. Barry Farmasili tries to reef the ball off him. Not quite. Valentine. Brown. Ethan Ford steps in and away from Bennett, but Bennett grabs him.
He's all over that. Alcock. Oh.
And again.
Missed it. Back on advantage.
Played on the ground too.
Batcher. He's hardly seen the ball, Ben Batcher. The blokes in front of him have been doing the job for Eastwood. Foley. Oh. Glancing blow from Bennett's. And Nick White's just going to settle this down. I don't know if Foley's okay.
I don't know if it was a glancing blow at all, Steve. That was pretty hard.
We heard it, but he kept going, so...
You can go when you're ready. You're right to go. No,
boot to the hip.
Yep.
An errant boot to the hip. That's not out, is it? No, it isn't.
Not out.
Joseph. Tom Joseph sets off. Ford tries to straighten, but that's where the defence is.
Onside here, onside.
Valentine, bit of a chance inside there for Alan Gahu. Lovely step from the hooker. Often captain of this side, but it's Tim McGann today. Randwick really needing to be next to score. They were set back on their heels in the first 10 minutes, leaking 3 tries. Brown. McGann keeps it on that short side, and Bennett wraps him up beautifully. Hard tackler, plays above his weight, Tim Bennett.
Yeah, good young player.
Player limping away from the breakdown was Longbottom. See if he's all right in a moment.
Back.
Toby Brown, claimed by Perrott. And they come back for the Randwick penalty. They might take the points this time right in front, just outside the 22, and they might need a breather. Good pace on.
I'd suggest they do.
Yeah, the defensive line of Eastwood's excellent. Hard to be critical at 4 tries to 1 and the start they've made, but a couple of recent kicks by Eastwood just seem a little pointless. The one thing that I think they could put this well out of reach by keeping ball in hand, even from their own 20.
I got mine. Yeah.
Now he gets up here, but
No, I didn't see you got.
I don't think it was Hugh Perrott who's been penalised there.
Okay. They're taking 3.
Yeah. I think it's a very wise move. They're 4 tries to 1. Stay in touch. You're 10 points difference. That's gettable.
Longbottom there, I mentioned, looked like he's in a bit of trouble, but he's okay after some attention.
I think Takiri's the one in trouble. He seems to have a Well, he's got a heavily strapped wrist to start with. And he was holding it as if it wasn't good. So you might have Sione Pukala going at him.
Brown to reduce the margin to 10.
Beautiful.
Does what she's done.
A good tactic by Randwick, just keeps them on the board, keeps them in touch, and their visit to the 22 has been rewarded, not with 7, but with 3, and keep plugging away, that's not bad.
Toby Brown and Pierre Holler between them, over 520 points for the season. Serious contributors. And Holler today has missed 11 points. He's didn't bring his kicking boots today. McFarlane, better catch. Alangahu, little dummy, very unsuccessful. McGann in. Noriega pointed the way by Brown. Toby Brown just flat out didn't want it. Valentine. Close to the ruck. Eastwood defence holding up. McGann goes again. Perrott makes yet another tackle.
Take it back.
Foley has to kick it down the middle. McCaffrey's back there. Lovely take from the big number 8. He'll lumber upfield. Needs this one to sit up on the breeze a little bit, but he's put it out on the full. Just
15 minutes and a half, guys.
Well, I don't quite understand. I mean, it's a wonderful player and he's got every skill in the book, but he had a fullback alongside him who easily, they're playing on.
Brown to the line. Hesitates. Felled by Mitch Lees. Oh, stop there from Valentine on the hand on the ball.
So don't do that. It's not your problem, all right?
Yeah, it is. I'm halfback. No.
It's my problem. He's my teammate.
Yeah, he's my buddy.
But Nathan Pearce has to step in and sort it out.
I was surprised Nathan let that go. The line-out had 4. You only need 2 players from each side of the line-out. They certainly had that. And it was a quick back play, which is good back play, though, because Halangahu was down, so wouldn't have been throwing. So I would have thought the line-out had formed.
Don't tell him.
He's all over it. Alcock. Oh.
Over. Steve.
You can't do that.
The strange thing about this scoreline and the tackles made, Eastwood have made 67 to Randwick's 19. That doesn't include missed tackles, I guess.
Missed tackles in that.
Oh, he's let that ball go laterally rather than behind him, White, and it's a loose one. Eastwood tidying up through Alcock. The defence is fantastic here, throwing their bodies on the line after a really physical match last week, Randwick. Farmasili gets it to halfway and a little dust bowl there. Oh, wonderful wide ball. John Grant puts the step on, gets past Joseph, but he's rounded up by Tim Wright. Well, ball must have been out. Oh, and no, we're coming back for it.
See, that's wrong.
Well, no, I don't think it is.
What gate did he not come through?
Well, I think you'll see he's either offside, but I thought he came in from the side on that one.
Oh, I think we're too pedantic about that. He's come from his side straight through the middle of the ruck.
I'm sure he has, actually. If you see that breakdown.
Offside's critical.
It's a great ball, isn't it, to John Grant?
Good step. Have a look now. We go to the ground now. The gate line will be formed in a second. There it is. Maxwell has come.
He's there.
He's come through the gate.
I think he's cleaned out the acting halfback before he had the ball in his hands. That might have been the set.
Maybe.
Anyway.
Technical.
White. I like to get technical. Mitch Lees got it off to Perrott. Got it off to White. White wants another try, but he gives it up. Oh, there's nobody out there.
Just put your head down.
What's going on? We've had 5 tries. We could have had 10.
And Lockie's going, there's one for me. I thought White could have gone himself. McCaffrey certainly could have. And Lockie's thinking, there's one gone missing.
Stu Dickinson could have scored that.
Pretty easy, wasn't it? They're making easy holes when they get a little bit of momentum and possession, a couple of phases. They look very threatening.
Keep it open there, please.
Oh, they've messed that up, and Farmasili brings it down for the Woods. They quickly get themselves set. Joining in the line is Batcher.
Numbers.
Oh, they shouldn't have skipped him, but Grant might get there. Yes, he does.
Well done. Hard to stop Big Johnny.
It would have been easier if they'd used Batcher and then Grant, but they got the result.
I agree with that. You're spot on. Just through the hands would have made it very simple. Thanks, guys. Well, it's the line out went wrong for Randwick. It was their throw. They just overshot the man. Great ball from Holler. Not a bad ball. Didn't need to throw the cutout. And two of them can't take Big Johnny Grant, who I think has just scored his 18th of the year.
Poor Pierre Holland's been relieved of kicking duties.
Ah, interesting.
Well, the size and physicality of John Grant will be appreciated by West Tigers next year.
Yeah, I hope that goes well. I hope that goes well for him. He's handed Benny Batcher the kicking duties, but I don't know about that. He's missed, what, 4 or 5 there? And which, to my mind, when you're the season's leading point scorer, you're going to get one soon, aren't you?
Yeah, but not from out there. Maybe you'll take it back when the next one's
next one, easy one. He'll be hoping for another shot at goal. They look good, don't they? The Woods, they look fresh after the week off. Certainly with the ball.
Sorry? I think they just said to him, look, Pierre, we'll save you for next week. He said, righto.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to go into a grand final lacking confidence in your #1 goal kicker.
No, they got a few. Batcher's a terrific goal kicker. Nick White's a good goal kicker. Lockie Turner's pretty handy. See, if I was Ben Batcher then, I wouldn't have taken that one. I'd have said, no,
I'll do
keep
the
going.
next one. Look at this, just simple hands. Holler once again delivers a great ball, but how good was Bennett's ball to pick up Johnny Grant there? Maybe they should have used the hands, but they used the width. Straight through, try number 5.
It's making John Grant earn his keep in his last couple of weeks.
Yeah, this looks a little dangerous for Randwick.
They always threaten to be so. White pounds this downfield.
Not out on the foot.
Ethan forward across to Foley.
Come out, Green.
Foley on his opposite. Batcher lets him catch it, actually, and Batcher steps away from him. White comes the short side. Bennett's 3 around him. Still manages to pinch an extra couple of metres. McGann's all over him.
McGann.
They don't.
Great pass.
Kukala.
I think the Tongans could have done with Sione in the World Cup.
And Pierre Holler.
Yeah.
Oh, Bennett's. He's away. Got Fitzpatrick on his inside. He won't drop this one, surely.
Oh! That's a super try. Good vision. They are carving them up. A point a minute almost. Look at this. Great ball. Mitch Lee's all the skill in the world. Bennett's thought about the dummy, the double pump, and there's no way he's diving. He'll be annoyed he hasn't got a double. Most underrated player, Timmy Bennett's.
I'll slap that ball away. That pesky Gilbert. Yeah, should have been 2, but Fitzpatrick backing up like the great hooker he is. Don't worry about it, says his Waratahs teammate.
So Pierre's gone up to Ben again and said, look, you kicked it, had a shot there last time. I want to try again.
They're carving them up. Not a lot of talk behind that Randwick try line, and I'm not sure what you could possibly say. 6 tries in 33 minutes.
Extraordinary, isn't it?
They're a good sign, aren't they, with the ball? When they spot a chance, they go. Great speed and skill.
No, definitely.
It raises the argument about having a week off, doesn't it? Clearly, Eastwood have benefited from it.
That's better.
And the ironic cheers go off for a conversion. Finally, after their 6th try.
Well, things have just worked well. Mitch leads. He delivered a beautiful ball by Bennett, but he shows once, then twice. Fitzpatrick just closes the gap on him, and then after how many attempts? Success.
And they're running into the wind, aren't they, John?
It's only a slight one. And they're not running towards the scoring end out of interest.
Randwick ball.
Tipped back a second time by McGann. Cruzar now.
Advantage over.
So Noriega's been replaced by George Fafita, who came on late in proceedings last week. Loose carry from Valentine. White gets rid of it to Fitzpatrick. He's got a thirst for it, having just scored. Bit of relief from the heat as the sun disappears for the moment. Watch out. Turner. Lockie Turner under the posts. Who wants to take this kick?
I think we'll give it back to Pierre, but they're toying with them now. This is getting out of hand. Great skill, great vision. I don't even remember who put the little chip kick over the heads. It was Batcher. Yeah. Turner's called it to him. He knows there's a big space. The bounce is good. Step, and ta-ta.
Yeah, he did Sean Foley cold. And down goes Nathan Pearce. Oh. How did Nathan take a tumble there? Someone's running a line and accidentally tripped him.
Well, what I like about it, Lockie says, I've had no ball today. We're carving them up and I haven't seen the ball, so I'm going to get in off my wing and get involved.
And there was the John Morrison chip kick used to excellent effect.
Yes, that's the one out of how many?
Yeah, you're right.
I've been waiting. I've been waiting.
7 tries. And it's not yet half-time.
Not yet, but that was a clever play because Randwick's defence was coming off the line fairly strongly there. But Batcher's just put it in behind. Watch this, just set up beautifully for Turner. But watch the step that Turner puts on Foley. Foley knew he was beaten. He didn't go anywhere. Poor Nathan, you just saw Nathan's feet tumble in the corner there. He got up, bounced back, and Craig Morrison, he'll be a little shell-shocked.
Well, what does he say at half-time? Seriously.
Finish off the season in style in the last 40 is the only thing you'll be able to say out of this.
Valentine and Jeff Ingram well inside the 22 quite quickly, so good response here from Randwick potentially. Need to convert it. And they're rumbling slowly towards the post. Alan Gahu.
They've stolen it. They'll run it.
Why not? Fitzpatrick out there. McCaffrey. Ethan Ford called out of it.
Well,
has another go.
Well, that's not through the gate.
Setback on his haunches in any case. Batcher.
Oh, they're running from everywhere.
Bennett stands up. Alan Gahu releases John Grant. Grant away. John Grant. He's got support. Lees to Grant. Grant. For the corner, yes, and around he comes. Dear, oh dear, over 40 in 40 minutes. It's a carve-up.
Oh, dear, dear, dear. How well are they playing?
Eastwood 44, Randwick 10.
How well are they playing? This is from deep in their own territory. They first took it right. Lockie McCaffrey on the right wing. This is the... after they'd swung it back left from their own 20.
Ford actually got there, but he's just too big, John Grant, to bring down in a grasping tackle in full flight. And how good a backup player and how good are the hands of Lees.
He's a terrific player, Mitch Lees. He's a very good footballer. For a bloke who does a lot of hard work in the second row.
Yeah. When you're getting the second row, one of your tight 5 doing that much open field work, you know, he's either very committed or very fit or both.
8 line breaks to 1, 8 tries to 1.
Not surprising. Now, look, what was recognised here was very good because Alan Gahu was out there with Maxwell. So they've seen a couple of forwards out there. Holler's spotted that and Batcher's put it through the hands. He's cut it wide. Bennett's is around Alan Gahu's picked up. Maxwell comes into the picture there. Alan Gahu can't pick it up. It's a simple 1-2 between Lees and Grant finishes off. He's done an exceptionally strong job. Just jogs around, makes it easier for Batcher. 46-10.
4 tries in the last 9 minutes, and they had 3 in the first 10. Ford. Foley.
It's a good kick.
Grant fielded it, I think.
It's a good kick if John wasn't there.
Oh, what's he done there? Giving it straight to McFarlane. Alan Gahu sets off. Got McGann with him to Valentine. Ben Hand tackles him.
Missed the ball, leave it now!
Sure, Ben Hand is okay. Maybe just lacking a little match fitness. Gets up very slowly.
That's fine. The previous one had 3 goes at it.
Well, Randwick, tap and go, have to. McFarlane.
Got to go with your teammates, though.
Yeah, Perrott makes the tackle. Valentine's got
Onside
ball if he
2.
wants it, just pauses. Brown steps, runs into White.
Release him. Hands out.
And penalty to Randwick.
No attempt to catch that, mate. No attempt.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Brett. Oh, the intentional knockdown, huh?
There you go. Knock on. Now Alangahu goes.
Oh, Barry's got to make more of an effort, Big Bazza.
Barry's thinking
He
of
had him.
oranges.
He had him.
McFarlane picks and goes. Hand makes
play
another
advantage.
tackle. Only a couple of metres out, Randwick.
Onside.
Tribute to them if they can
Offside
score here. They've been
advantage.
smashed in this first half. Toby Brown steps only into trouble. Leaves it behind him.
Offside advantage.
Important little passage
yeah.
here, defensively for Eastwood, and even more important that Randwick gets something
Fix it up,
before
please. I'm
half-time.
talking. You've got to listen.
What's happening? Oh, the tap.
Fafita. Driven in a good tackle. Cruzan now. Pushed back into the ruck. Ball's there for Randwick. And so is the defence.
They've got that, I think. Randwick haven't.
It's a mess of bodies. And the ball is seemingly with Eastwood.
I'll just kick it over the dead ball line, won't they, at half-time?
So it's come out the Eastwood side. Nick White is calling for it, reaching for it. It won't come.
What's it stuck, is it?
And
wow.
56 points in just over 40 minutes. And there's a little bit of an upset here. Tim Maxwell, Pierre Holler, Neo Alangahu having a chat to Barry Farmasili.
I'd be upset too if I was Randwick.
8 tries to 1. And the minor premiers are playing like the team that only lost 1 game this year. Oh, awesome.
Yeah, absolutely awesome. There doesn't say that up there with the stats. It doesn't say Eastwood have been awesome, but they have been. Missed tackles, 21 of Randwick. Possession, 60%. Opposition, time in opposition, 22 is pretty even. But every sniff they've had, Eastwood, their execution has been brilliant, and they've pretty much scored from every line break. They have looked red hot. Randwick, I don't quite know what happens at half-time, but 8 tries.
Kicks three from 9. I mean,
Yeah.
it could have been.
It could easily be
plus.
60.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of pride required in the second half. You wouldn't think they'd concede another 8, but I would be wanting them to win the second half if I'm the Randwick coach.
Steph is with Lockie McCaffrey.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Lockie, what a start. What have you lot been doing in your week off? You've certainly come out ready to play.
Yeah, we're all fresh. I think it's just a bit excited after last year's disappointment. Come out here at our home ground, thank our supporters for the season and really have a good go at this semi-final.
And what do you think the word will be for the second half? Do you try and avoid injury or maintain the momentum and go for the biggest score you can get?
I think we'll keep going for that momentum into hopefully next week the final. Just keep doing what we've been doing, hopefully exit a bit better and hopefully this scoreboard keeps ticking.
Good stuff. Thanks, Lockie. Go take a break.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Well, it is half-time here at TG Milner. 46-10, the Woodies in the lead. And, of course, there's been plenty of other news happening in the rugby world. Let's get the latest and join Lou Ransom with the Rugby Wrap.
We're at TG Milner, where Eastwood have put together a near faultless first 40 minutes, over a point a minute. Nick White's helped himself to plenty. He's got a hat-trick in the first half. John Grant amongst the points also. Damien Fitzpatrick could have had 2. Lockie Turner, blistering pace. And John Grant headed for another code next year, but we're enjoying him today, and so are the Eastwood faithful. 46-10, 8 tries to 1. Randwick, it's an enormous mountain to climb, and they'll be aiming to finish the season with some pride here and hopefully be first to score, but my goodness, it's a long way back from there. Brett.
Yeah, a very difficult mental task for Randwick, certainly. Eastwood, if they had something in the oranges, keep that momentum and intensity up a little bit, maybe score another couple early, it could be a very nice way to go into a grand final.
Back. McCaffrey back to White, and he'll try to keep this one in field, and has done that as it's taken by Ford and across to his back 3 partner in Foley. Hasn't had a lot of opportunities today. Thought he spotted something there. Just tapped back by Lees. I think that was intentional. Not to take it. Hasn't heard the thundering footsteps. And again, got a foot to that. Barry Farmasili picks it up. And the crowd love him here as he takes a couple of people out of the way. Big Barry. Holla. Pukala. Just managed to get that away to Lockie Turner. Coming back from an ankle injury, and he looks 100%. Batcher. That's long bottom. And White is drilling that into the corner. Oh, precise.
Yeah. Very good. Good vision, excellent execution.
Over to Steph now. Steph.
Thanks, Steve. Craig Morrison, Randwick coach. I imagine the mood in the sheds was not particularly happy.
Look, no, everything went wrong for us that half. We didn't play the win. We didn't play field position, and we turned over ball in good positions on the field. So yeah, it can only go up from here. So we're upbeat. We're upbeat. There's no point in being down about it. Things didn't go our way, and we've got 40 minutes to turn things around.
And how do you go about doing that?
Well, we've got to hold on to the ball, do the things we were doing well, which was going forward. And, you know, they're not really aiming up in behind the ruck. They've got a good line spread defensively, and that's where we're turning over when we go wide. So we've just got to tighten it up and earn that right to go wide.
And possibly not helped by the 6-day turnaround and those injuries you picked up last week.
Look, possibly, but, you know, we don't make no excuses. We turned up ready to play, and, you know, we probably didn't play well enough that first half. There's no doubt about that. So we've got 40 minutes to prove what we can do now.
All right, Craig, thanks for your time. Good luck for the second 40.
Thank you.
Nice words there from Craig Morrison. Very rational and reasonable and wise coach by the sound of all of that. Let's see if his players can back him up with some actions here.
Well, they won an Eastwood line out for a start, which was helpful.
Nolan takes it inside the Eastwood half. A few interesting clouds gathering around. I don't know if we're going to get rain, but it's a little darker on the horizon than we expected on what's been an unseasonably warm late September day.
It's been hot. It's been really hot.
Craig made a couple of really good points in just where they're going to attack Eastwood, and saying that they need to go forward before they go wide. Well, that's fine, but where they're targeting is he's saying the line is thin behind the breakdown of Eastwood, and if they can play down that channel 1, maybe just wide as channel 2, that's where they're hoping to get some inroads. So it'll be a real strong test for Eastwood's defence here.
Lockie Turner standing incredibly wide. He's actually outside the touchline. Now he's back on the field of play. Pukala shapes, goes on his own. They just expect him to take it into contact, most oppositions. White got rid of it. McCaffrey gets rid of a couple. McCaffrey, he'll get there. Defence too soft.
Yeah, but he's strong. Hard to knock over. He just shrugged them away. And, poor old coach Morrison will be going, that's not what we talked about. Hit with your shoulder and knock them over. Take a few of them out. I mean, be a bit aggressive. Look, he's just said, go away.
Well, a year ago, he suffered a very nasty leg fracture at Wallara.
In this game? Yeah, it was horrible. Drew Mitchell-like. But it took him 9 months to get back.
And he is back. How's the strength here? Just get out of the way. And a couple of big strides to the line, and there was no stopping him. And they've got 51 well inside 50 minutes.
That's a good start. Excellent start. They're playing with great confidence. Pierre's back. Yes. None from 5 for the season's leading point scorer.
He likes kicking towards his end, I think.
Make a fresh start.
It's John scoring end.
It is.
Let's see.
He brings it round.
There we go.
He's back. Well, what you see here is what Robbie Deans talks about so often. He wants his players to get shoulders on in tackles. And you hear him use that expression. And when McCaffrey went to the line, well, there were just no shoulders on there by Eastwood. It was all arm tackles, no shoulders. And we'll just see here, there's one good tackle falling in, but McCaffrey shrugs off one, it's all arms, shrugs off another. There's barely arms, no shoulders, and a couple more hands straight through.
Replaced by Gareth Milano. Going jumper number 19.
Palamo is on, so some more big defence coming from Eastwood if they need it. Turner straight downfield. Oh, he might have kicked that too far.
He's overcooked it. No, it's holding.
Oh, yes. There you go, Josh. Do something with it. Oh dear, he looks fit and well, Lockie Turner. If this goes dead, we are back about 80 metres for a scrum. Now they have the dropout coming out of trouble.
A little bit consistent with Randwick's luck today, isn't it? It was never going to go that extra metre.
Batcher. White. Pukala standing in the tackle, waiting for support. It arrives, long bottom to the 22. Holler back on the inside.
Now, Brett.
There it is again.
Well, I've got no problem with that as an intentional knockdown, but a handout. That was brilliant play. Ben Hand having an early mark. He's coming back from a wrist or a broken hand. A bit of a thigh problem by the look of that. But John,
it's a lot of ice.
The speed at which Eastwood are clearing the ruck and just going whammo and left or right, it's... Whew.
Yeah, that's and I think what they'll be doing, concentrating on this half particularly, is just getting their patterns ready for next week. They'll need to be testing them. Oh, see, that is a deliberate knockdown. They'll just be testing those patterns, and that will be part of it, clearing from the breakdown quickly.
Taken by Palamo.
There was a yellow card in second grade today for that thing, but it wasn't as bad as that. So why is the consistency not there between refs?
Fitzpatrick's got it at the back of this rolling maul for the Woods. They might need some of this if they meet Uni in the grand final, which a lot of people are tipping. Manly will have something to say about that tomorrow here. Make sure you're with us as Eastwood press for what will be their 10th try. Might be prepared to do this one by inches. Just sitting there. McGann thought about reaching in for it. And White does just that. To Holler. Oh, dropped. And it'll come back for the scrum. So we've had a couple of injuries, Noriega and Hand. Can you tell us something, Lou?
Yeah, Steve. Well, Stephen Noriega, he's rolled his ankle and he's actually still sitting in the dressing room with it up, with a lot of ice on it, I'm told. And as we saw before, Ben Hand, as we could probably guess, has a corked thigh.
And Matt Dunning is coming on for Barry Farmasilli, who's had a good game. Bit of a crowd favourite, but I think the heat of today, Barry's a guy who would feel it as much as anyone. And good to see Matt Dunning coming on.
He's been very good. Big Bad Barry. He's had an excellent game. Listen to the crowd. Give him a round of acknowledgement for the hard work done in the heat of the day as well.
Australian schoolboy back in 06. He's done a little bit for Connacht too, didn't he? Yeah. He's been to Ireland and applied his trade around the world. A big scrum applied by the Woods.
Just done the scrum, please. 19 off the scrum.
Stay bound.
Palamo lost his grip.
Yeah, sorry, sir. I lost my grip on the scrum.
To see Matt Dunning out there, he'll get some good game time out of this one. What have we got? 31 good half.
Just keep your back rolling.
31 minutes.
28 missed tackles for the Wicks. Well, they made so many last week. Probably weren't wanting to make every tackle that came their way today, although they have told themselves otherwise. Palmed down by Ingram very nicely. To Keary. Oh, it's a little static out there. The precision and the speed and the movement, not evident. Could have turned this over. They have. It's Mitch Lees rumbling up to the 22. Super game from him.
Come back.
Play on.
Come back. Yeah, agreed. We're playing knockback by Blue.
Big clean out there.
Just come around.
In from the side.
It's up. You've got it.
Oh, it's...
Mate.
Release that Blue.
I think so.
It's Rafferty's rules out there today.
No, it's not.
Neither ref.
It's Rafferty's laws. Batcher takes it beautifully.
Well done, and they'll go quickly. Oh, and they've got numbers.
McCaffrey, Holler. Whoops, nearly obstruction there.
You can't do that.
I don't think we're arguing about that one.
Yes.
We have in the past, but perhaps not today.
That was a pretty simple Shepherd. Can't run around your teammate.
Yeah, Palamo got well and truly in the way there of would-be tacklers.
Tim Wright, away they go.
Joseph. Foley got that kick away, and there's still some kind of a chance here, Randwick, but the bounce of the ball denies them. Great pick-up from Batcher, and they might counter. Oh, Foley on Batcher.
Good hit.
They've come together a couple of times, haven't they, the opposing fullbacks? You don't always see that.
Lockie.
Oh, McCaffrey, number 8 to number 8. And McFarland. Step through the tackle of Picala. That doesn't always happen. A player injured here.
Yeah, it is Bennett's, and he's grabbing a knee.
Move away, Seven. I got it. Move away.
This is not good. I think we've got a player in big trouble for Eastwood. We'll come back to it. It's a key man too.
Yes. He's feeling that as an ankle, I think.
A week before a grand final. I hope it's not as bad as it first looks, but it's Randwick to pick it up through McFarland and drift the short side.
Onside!
Just outside the 22, Randwick. Still on the 10 points they had at half-time. Randwick trying to set some kind of attacking line, but turned it over. Batcher.
He's on.
Still away from the still injured Bennett, so it's play on. Foley. Batcher. Away from Wright. To Grant. John Grant. And
that's Perrott. Oh, he was winning the race too.
He was as quick as Tom Joseph, and now we can perhaps get some attention for
Tim Bennett's. Doesn't look good.
Yeah.
No, they've already called for a replacement.
I'm a bit surprised he kicked it.
Well, I think he thought that Perrott was covered, and that maybe he could win the race to the ball. But anyway, we're most concerned now about Tim Bennett's.
It's a scrum back here, yeah.
Marker is coming on for Randwick, so I would think he'd be replacing Bevic Takiri.
So what happens here? He falls.
Oh, that's what happens.
No, I don't need to see that.
Yeah, that's a medial.
They're just talking about stretcher.
That's a
Putting some weight on it, so that's at least some good news.
Not necessarily.
With a bit of treatment, who knows?
So Stannard has gone to the wing. Lockie Turner to outside centre.
Stannard can play anywhere.
Well, yeah, he can. He covers every position in the back line. Half, 5'8", fullback.
Send him on
in this case on the wing, and Lockie Turner can play outside centre as well. Plays it pretty well, in fact.
Tim Maxwell is leaving the game too, and I think he's leaving Shute Shield Rugby. This is his last season.
He's moved up to the Central Coast, so his commitment to Randwick for travel is just a little bit too much, so he declared. Well, I think that's his 256th game.
Well, I hope he plays up there. Interestingly, there's a grand final up there today. Peter Miller is playing for Gosford against Avoca.
And this is Avoca's 7th straight grand final appearance. They've been extraordinary over the years.
It's an Eastwood hand in there, but it's been let go because Randwick have got it. So I think Nev McGee has come on for Maxwell, and the Irishman in 19. Played a few first-grade games in 2011. Something of a working rugby holiday. He's a pretty decent player. Probably didn't expect to come on with his side trailing by 43 early in the second half.
Heavy opportunity to win. They didn't get it. Green going forward. Not a player on there.
So Randwick are playing closer to the breakdown now, trying to get a bit more direct and not sending it too far. As Craig Morrison was saying there at half-time, we've got to go forward before we can go wide, and that's what they're concentrating on now. Getting in behind Eastwood, if they can.
Well, we talk a lot about their attacking prowess, and they have been brilliant all year, but it is their defence that has formed the platform for much of their year.
That's Eastwood.
Yeah, they have defended brilliantly, and it's turnovers that they force, and away they go.
Mighty shove on, but Randwick have cleared it. And Maka on for Randwick. It's nudged down the line by Ethan Ford. Batcher's got to wait for it. Oh, good endeavour from Ford. He's put his body on the line there. I think he had the abs braced for the contact.
Yes, the ball comes off the boot with some... Oh, that was travelling.
Yeah, that's commitment.
That is super commitment. He's had a good year, Ethan Ford. He looked a very likely prospect early in the season, and he's proved to be very handy.
New South Wales schoolboy out of Kiama.
Absolutely straight.
White. It's not his best, but it's... no, it's out. Okay. Brett, I just want to make an observation about if Bennett's is not okay. We've talked again and again about the continuity in the lineup of Eastwood. If he is suddenly out, when they've had Holler, Pukala and Bennett's the whole season at 10, 12 and 13.
Well, they've got some alternatives. Luke Brecht is second grade centres, played a fair bit of first grade, and a wonderful player. I suspect what we've seen out there, though, in terms of the reshuffle, might be the way coach goes.
Well, we had Bennett's away for a little while on that tour, wasn't it? Was it the forced tour? Yep. So they've had a chance to experiment with a couple of combinations.
Alan Gahu, short side for Randwick, about 10 metres outside the 22 of Eastwood. Working it back towards Valentine. And 19 is McGee. Going to make a presence. Fresh man on. Valentine. Fafita. Fafita came on quite early for Noriega. Brown on the bounce to Foley. Tom Joseph just about got away from Grant.
Ruck was for, mate. You've gone past it and that's on.
Well, I just wonder how Tim Bennett's is doing. Louise, you got any news?
The only thing we know at this stage is it is a right ankle sprain, and he's just sitting on the sideline with some ice on it. And Tim Maxwell actually came off with an injury. He's done an AC joint in his shoulder.
Oh dear. Feel for him. That's not surgery. It often is.
Not if you're retiring, it isn't.
Surgery is optional. Yeah. So it's an ankle, not a knee, but they both got a good twist from Bennett. So anyway, well, he's looking more positive.
This is it. This is much better from Randwick.
Alan Gar, who given a very flat ball and a welcome by Perrott. Foley up trying to give some assistance and spins on the ground to present the ball.
Very clever.
To do that. If you want it, tell me.
That is clever.
10 blue entry.
We're going to be back here tomorrow to see who else will be in the grand final. Almost certainly, of course, Eastwood. To be joined by Sydney Uni, defending champions, 6-time champions in a row, or Manly. And the Marlins might think they've got the pack to mix it with the students, and I think they have. It'll be a great game. So be with us at 3 tomorrow afternoon.
It'll be a very physical contest, I think, up front.
Manly beat Uni at Manly Oval earlier this year. Different lineups, granted, but they'll take what confidence they can out of that into tomorrow. Alan Gahu.
Let it go!
Valentine waiting. Moen. Brown tastes the line, gets it to Ford, and he's smashed. He's just about there.
Alcock got it, made the tackle, and pitched it.
Well, he gets a pass around the corner, drifted forward, and it's come to Joseph. Tom Joseph angling back towards the post, only 7 or 8 metres out. Crazy little section to play this one. Moen. Oh, just needed to give it, maybe. There were numbers outside him. And a penalty to the Wicks. They're digging in here, Randwick, and all credit to them.
That's 2.
Holler's got that.
Not now. Brown has. Moen. Ford's out here unmarked, and Ethan Ford is around to score another for Randwick, just their second.
Well done. Well done. A couple of interesting pieces of play there. Eastwood, Mitch Lees, I think, made a bust on the turnover. He's thrown some miracle round the corner pass that's gone nowhere. Ola's nearly got it. Yeah, Randwick, good endeavour. They've been camped down here for some time, and they're not going to stop Ethan Ford.
It's nice to see him rewarded for the things he's done today, Ethan. In particular, just recently, that charge down on the Batcher kick. That's karma.
Yeah, much calmer now, Randwick. They're feeling a little better.
Got to say, once again, though, we saw a testament to Eastwood's defence on the line on that first.
Yeah, I think it was Alcock, wasn't it?
I think it was,
and he made a beautiful tackle. Somehow pinched it, and away they went.
Well, especially when you're 40-odd points up and in control of the game, and you think, well, maybe we could just let him in. Not this Eastwood defence. They've come off the line and swamped him and forced the turnover.
So, Toby Brown.
Pushed it.
John Grant, his flashing iridescent boots maybe did enough to put him off. Here's a stat makes no sense. 146 tackles to 58 Eastwood have had to make.
That's extraordinary. Nice bit of control play here. Pierre Holler goes through there, but Brown just pops this ball up. Moen had vision for Ford out wide, unmarked. Ford very controlled in taking that ball, just bringing it around a little bit too, but good calm play by Randwick.
Holler. 21 minutes gone in the second half. McFarlane. Exactly in the middle of the 22. Right side they go. Foley. McCaffrey. Oh! He's dropped it, or it's gone out, or it's...
Yeah, Randwick throw.
Yep.
Just on your point a few minutes ago about your rearranged backline for Eastwood, I would have thought that it would be Lockie Turner would be quite happy to get some game time in an active position at outside centre. He'd be very happy about doing that.
What's happened there with Matt Dunny? He's straight off again for Farmasili.
Shoulder.
That's bad news for Matt. Maka. Really solid contributor for Randwick this year. Oh, McFarlane's had a little bit of a look. Stannard puts it on the toe. Lockie Turner's chasing this through the opposition. Turner! That's what pace can do. He's just burned off the opposition. John Minetti looks pretty happy about that.
I think he's pretty comfortable. How quick are they? Across the park, how quick are they?
Number 17, Matt Dunning has left the field.
Oh! And good vision from Stannard. In fact, Stannard would have been in the hunt as well. He was next. Great speed. You can't coach it, and he's sort of blessed with it.
Number 21, Nick Riley.
He found a passage here between runners. Is the gap open for him?
Timmy Wright contemplated the right boot there. Well done.
Number 8 is being replaced by...
It's like the horse has opened up for him on the straight, and he found a way to the winning post.
Interesting now for John Minetti. 17 minutes to go. What does he do? Does he just give them all a rest if he can?
No, I wouldn't. Don't forget, Eastwood have had that week off, and they need to play back that consistent form. There's a risk between protecting your players and getting them into a pattern and giving them a run again. I think Johnny would stick with it.
They played 63 minutes. Oh!
Pierre Holler might do a bit of goal-kicking practice this week as they prepare for the grand final, which inevitably they'll go to.
Let's have a look at the turnover. Ben Moen again trying to get it a bit further wide. Now McFarlane took his eyes off the ball. Beautifully put through by Stannard. But look at the speed of Lockie Turner just coming through his time with the Wallabies. He's been on the sprint circuit. He's come back, just beat the field and streaked him.
White. He's kept that low and forward on the first bounce. Again across to Foley. Familiar pattern here. So Riley's on for Ben Batcher. Nick Riley, awfully good fullback to be in seconds. And Chris Dan on for McCaffrey. Alan Gahu. Randwick, chance here. Moen trying to keep away from the sideline. Drilled in the tackle by Dan. McGann on. Maka. Oh, thought about the pass.
He's gone.
He's gone again. One simple drop ball and Eastwood are in a mood to punish Turner.
I think that's 3 for Lockie. It could be 78 if they kick their goals. Kick now will make it 65. And when it's not your day, it's not your day. Eastwood aimed up here. Randwick had an opportunity, but they didn't have an overlap. Eastwood had them covered defensively. Maka tried to do something.
When you think that Eastwood haven't actually even taken all their chances.
There is an opportunity if he can just break a tackle. He can't. He still tries a bit of an offload and then he's not sure. He tries to hang on to it.
It was great positioning by Lockie Turner. Denied Maka the chance to pass, then picked up the loose ball. Well, just to see this kick from Holler, which he's had no trouble with. Relieved about.
Straight through on that.
Well, we're just seeing the turnover ball. Maka trying to make things happen, but when Lockie Turner's in the post cage, you don't want the ball anywhere near him. And it's just sad to see the toll being taken on Randwick here. They are sore. You can see them just slowly moving between. They weren't chasing down too much. It's a sad end to their season, which they can be fairly happy with.
As the restart happens, Louise, some injury news?
Yeah, Steve, with Matt Dunning, he's actually carrying a pre-existing left shoulder injury, so that's why he came off.
Just not up to the contact, I guess. That's a shame for the depth for next week. Fitzpatrick, 11 tries to 2, folks. We thought this was possible, but the ease with which Eastwood have taken Randwick apart, tribute to them, and I guess East's last week contributed to Randwick's performance today. So trouble for Dunning and Bennett. Bennett's at least looks relaxed.
Happy.
Yeah, I hope that means good news for him, because to get to this point and not play next week, that's a heartbreak. Nathan Trist has had that experience, I think.
So I suppose it's happened to plenty, but you don't like to see it.
Well won by Ingram. Brown, Maka. It's all a bit at 3/4 pace. Foley, just it's on Stannard.
Them sevens mates, those two.
I won't hurt you if you don't hurt me.
Played a lot of sevens together for Australia. Oh, what are you doing back in there?
That'd be dangerous. And 21 is Toa. Maraki Toa is on. McFarlane won't get away from Fitzpatrick. Well, the Eastwood fans have enjoyed today the high-scoring effort of their team. McGann. Last chance to see Eastwood at home, and an unbeaten season it has been at TG Milner for the mighty Woodies. Have they had a better season? I guess we'll know next week.
Well, they've won a few premierships, so...
Yes, but the competition season itself, it's
a
lot to
highlights.
better. Yeah.
Week in, week out, fans are happy.
They own the Sir Roden Cutler Shield as it goes wide towards right. Who's away? Tim Wright. Support's there from Foley, but he's given it straight to Hugh Perrott. Not a lot in front of him.
He can go. He can go.
Hugh Perrott. Grant's looming up on his inside. Hello. John Grant's away. And Grant will help himself to a hat-trick. And the pace of Perrott, dangerous to underestimate it.
He's as quick as most of the backs in Sydney. I promise you that. He's lightning fast. John Grant's faster. Oh, he's popped it. They look good, actually, going down the right wing. Foley made the initial break, and just the turnover, throwing that pass that you hope will get you a try to sort of regain some sort of pride. And then there's an Eastwood bloke there to catch it. There's always an Eastwood bloke there to catch it today. Not their day, Randwick, at all.
Nev McGee couldn't stick with the chase, and once it went to Grant, there was only going to be one conclusion. And, of course, the Perrott family dog is here wearing an Eastwood jersey today. That was quite funny to see.
He'd be one hot dog, I can tell you.
It's a bit hot for that, but yes. The dog insists on wearing the blue and white for the rugby.
It's Saturday. Put it on.
I saw Eastwood...
Apparently doesn't take it off.
John, I saw Eastwood play East in a semi-final at the Sydney Football Stadium going back 10 or 12 years. And they put 66 on them, I think. The days of the Millers. And
Hit the post again. What's going on?
But I think this is better.
Oh, look, this is just everything about it, isn't it? Randwick are nearly scoring here. That's the thing. But Hugh Perrott, as you mentioned, the pace of him, he's outflanked about 3 Randwick defenders there. Johnny Grant just looming defence. But Perrott's still backing up at good pace too. He could have finished off that try, but Johnny Grant says, I'll do it at half pace. And again, it's just a sad end for Randwick, who don't deserve a scoreline by this, but it's testament to the standard that Eastwood are playing at.
12 tries, only 5 of them converted, so 14 points left out there. Some difficult kicks, but it's been a funny day with the boot. And 1 penalty also missed. So Frost on for Pukala. Mark Frost, a very regular first grader this year, and with Lockie Turner coming back, he's lost his spot, but nice to get him on today.
Neville McGee forgot Josh Valentine was on his side there.
Great pressure from Alcock, and now Turner. Randwick have got it though. Maka takes a few metres. 10 metres on the Eastwood side, in fact. Valentine. And there's not a lot of willing runners here. Foley. Brown. Ford was a long way from him, so he didn't want to pass it to him. Risk an intercept, perhaps.
Oh, it's out, isn't it?
Tim McGann. It's not out until the referee says it is.
No, it isn't. It's out when I say it is. Come on.
Yes,
You're right.
That's a management issue.
You're right.
Make sure you tackle there too. You're not entitled to that.
And Nev McGee. So just outside the Eastwood 22 now. Moen. Oh, gee, Foley had some space to run into if he'd given it. There's trouble. Palamo gives it to Frost, but he's run onto the line.
Oops, away they go.
Why not?
Ambitious.
Maka. Perrott says, no, you don't.
11 back round.
And Lockie wasn't quite on the right side there.
He's doing nicely here. Referee Pearce, it's like throwing a drowning man both ends of the rope, though.
Very nice.
Yeah, I like that, Brett. That's good.
It's not helping.
It's starting to mount up the tackle. Let's fix it up, Wes. This is starting to mount up at the tackle.
Off the move deck chairs of the Titanic.
Unless he's off his feet. Yeah, he wasn't there.
Yeah, Randwick have had a good year. And I just thought after last week when they copped so many injuries, struggling to field 15 fit guys, this was on the cards. And Eastwood have not taken their foot off the throat. And why would you expect them to? They've got a grand final to reach, and they'll be hoping win. I want to take slack form to it. Brown. Maka. Now Tom Joseph, standing start. Running into Nick Riley out there. Riley on for Batcher. Mark Frost hanging around the fullback area. Ploxtus on now for Barry Farmasili. What can Randwick take out of these closing 7 minutes?
Tell you one thing, Ben Moen hasn't stopped. He's 1,000 hit-ups.
Alan Gahu stopped outside the 22. Valentine. Maka to right. Just about away from Stannard. He's giving it his best. Tim Wright here. Maka but half. Valentine. Oh, players running everywhere. Play on. Fans thought they saw an obstruction. I'm sure who was running into who. You need to look at that about 5 times to tell. Throw a towel over about 6 blokes. Anyway, it's not going to matter in the context of the result. McFarlane. Now they're inside the Eastwood 22. It's taken some doing. Lots of pride in this defence. McGee goes to ground.
Let's get the latch up, please, Ben.
Counter-rucked by Eastwood. Back to McFarlane. It's energy-sapping stuff, and Randwick have got little enough as it is. Out to Toby Brown once more.
Neo in the centres.
That looked like hard work in the forwards. I'm hanging out here for a minute. And they're trying to reef it off him, but Neo's not letting go.
Let it go now. Yeah, let it go now.
Body's all over that. It's freed up by McGann. Maka.
Play on.
Oh, that's trouble, potentially.
Open up the legs.
They're going to go. Oh, they're going to kick it. Just to make the Randwick defenders run all that way.
Yeah, well, Ethan Ford had started to backpedal, so he's got plenty of time to pick this up and make a decision. Nearly knocked it on.
Knocked back according to Nathan Pearce. Fair enough.
Not according to the fans in this grandstand. Quick line out taken. Riley, there's nobody there.
Oh,
that's the benefit of a quick line out against a tiring defence and a beaten side.
They're beaten.
Number 21, Nick Riley. Eastwood 75. Randwick 15.
That's a reminder of the previous scores between these two teams. 23-11 and 38-14. So this is uncharacteristic.
Sort of is in a way, but as I mentioned at the start, Randwick have been leaking points in their last 4 games. And it was around the 49-point mark, and now coming up against Eastwood.
Yeah, John, last time they played, Eastwood really didn't get out of second gear in beating them 38-14 or thereabouts down at Coogee.
You blokes aren't helping me. I'm trying to defend them a little.
There's a gulf in speed and skill between these two teams, and it's being shown today. When Eastwood are on, they just burn you. You know, every mistake you make, they're gone. And, 13 tries. And it perhaps isn't a fair reflection of Randwick's season, who fight to the death every week. But today,
and it was just great vision too to see the quick line out would happen, and Nick Riley was on the spot. James Stannard had put up a great chase early. Guess who was behind them though? Parrott, everywhere on the field, still hasn't stopped running, even with just 3 minutes to go. And it's just testament to, as you say, the commitment this side has got. But I think the other advantage that Eastwood display is that they've been together. They've got that continuity, and it's been with them all season, and it's paying off in bucket loads right now.
Oh, it's a huge kick from Lockie.
It is a kick and a half.
Massive.
Turner has got
Just make sure we keep
3.
that gap. The last one started
Grant's
closing.
got 3. White's got 3.
I was going to ask Brett, is Lockie still doing extra training as part of the extended squad for New Zealand in case?
I'm not sure. There's a problem with the Ioane injury.
Yep.
Because they can't replace him if they want to use him later.
That's right.
Australia might find it difficult against Ireland without both Ioane and Pocock. 200 tackles to 65. Eastwood have had to make, which on the scoreboard doesn't make a lot of sense. That's how it's been.
Leave it now, missed it, leave it!
Been punishing in those tackles.
Had one go to the other, about 3 goes. The rough's been well and truly fallen by then. Let's fix it up.
A couple of minutes to go. And the end of the season is nigh for Randwick.
The question now is, who do they play next week, and can they get anywhere near this sort of performance?
It's a bit more.
University can. Manly.
Can Eastwood get near this performance next week? I know their opponent will have plenty to say about it.
Sorry, I misunderstood the question. But be with us tomorrow, folks, at 3 o'clock. We'll be back here at TG Milner for the students and the Marlins. Should be a ripper. Not a lot of love lost there.
7 space.
McFarlane.
Onside.
Where's it to go? In nice and tight. There's McGee.
That's fine. Missed it now.
Valentine wants to shift it right. Maka steps and is taken. They're giving them nothing, Eastwood. In fact, they're taking stuff from them.
Oh,
that's a good kick.
That's massive.
Oh, that's
on the money.
That is super.
He's got a good boot, Nick White. He's not bad on his feet either. He's got a lovely pass.
Yeah.
He's aggressive. What a super game. He's, what, 7 metres from his own line and smashed it. I think he had a couple of his teammates out wide, wanted him to run it. They want one more.
13 tries, Eastwood. Goodness knows what Uni and Manly will make of this performance. They've got their own to worry about tomorrow. It's a fatigued Randwick side today, though. Oh, dropped. And
they might get one more here.
Yeah.
It's not their day.
No.
Oh, the mercy rule.
Yeah, 15 seconds earlier. We're not going to quibble with that. The result was known some time ago, but Eastwood kept the points coming. 77 to 15. Who'd have picked a margin of 62? Well,
they were outstanding. They were outstanding. From the opening whistle, they were lively at the breakdown. They play quickly. Their skill and execution is excellent, and they have speed.
Well, some commiserations to Randwick, who had a good season. They beat East last week in a really tough match, but they spent a lot of petrol in doing so, and they couldn't match it with Eastwood today. The top club all season. And gee, they showed it today.
Missed tackles and turnovers. Possession ultimately marginally in Eastwood's way, but gee, they tackled well. They just beautifully defended their line. 200+ tackles against just 67. And when they did get a turnover, they were gone. Super display for a semi-final to be that good. 13 tries to 2.
Well, Lockie Turner cashed in a few of those turnovers, and Lockie is with Louise.
Thanks, Steve. Well, Lockie, were you expecting it to be that easy?
No, I think it was a little bit harder than what it looked like, to be honest with you. I mean, sort of the score blew out in the last 20 there, but that first 20 was, we got off to a cracking start, but it was still pretty physical.
And we saw you move into the centres. Is that likely to happen next week now that, you know, if Tim Bennett's injury looks as bad as it looks?
I don't know. He might actually do a Benny Batcher and break his leg and play the next week. So we just don't know yet. But I'll leave that to Johnny and Stu to figure out.
And how good is it to be back playing for Eastwood?
Yeah, it's just nice to be playing footy again. So 3 weeks out and only started running again this week. So it's really nice just to be running around with the boys and continue that winning form.
And what will you guys have to work on going into the final now?
Oh, look, I think we were a bit scratchy in bits there. Definitely our kick-off receipts was something we can improve on next week. And, you know, we just saw the importance of exiting our own end today. So we'll have to take that forward to next week.
Well, good luck. Thanks, Lockie.
Cheers. Thanks, Louise.
Well, how do you get through all these try scorers? Except to say there were hat-tricks to Nick White, Lockie Turner and John Grant, backed up by Fitzpatrick, McCaffrey, Bennetts and Riley. They swamped them, really, early, in the middle and late. Joseph and Ford the tries for Randwick, 77 to 15. Here's John Morrison with Ben Mowen.
Yeah, down with Ben, and I suppose a little bit shell-shocked, Ben, what happened there, but superb performance by Eastwood.
Yeah, it was. You know, in these games, attitude's king. Attitude clearly wasn't on today, and you know, they had every reason to relax throughout that, coming in first, you know, with a bit of history behind the year, but they didn't, and they put it to us.
Were you just a little bit shell-shocked from last weekend's game? It was a tough, hard match as well.
Yeah, I don't think that had much to do with it. I think the boys' attitude was just clearly off in that first 10 minutes, and we didn't recover, you know, and against a strong Eastwood side, you can't do that. You've got to start strongly, and, you know, home crowd at home for them got them home.
4 tries in the first 20 minutes, pretty well killed it all.
Yeah, it did, but, you know, they created that and they put pressure on us early and we didn't react, so, you know, we've only got ourselves to blame there.
A strong enough performance, do you think, by Eastwood to challenge any side who plays them in the grand final?
Look, I hope so. Be keen to see someone else win it for Sydney Uni. Look, they look very strong and they stayed hungry. You know, they had every reason to knock off in that second half, but they stayed hungry, and I wish them all the best for next week.
All right, Ben, thanks for joining us this afternoon. Well done on your season. Look forward to seeing you back in Super Rugby with the Brumbies next year.
Thanks, John. Cheers.
Yeah, well done. Interesting to hear from him. But Nick White opened things up in just the second minute. As we look at the first half tries, no joy from that penalty kick, but Mitch Lee's closing in on Toby Brown, and there with the scraps for Bennetts. And Nick White, well, he had a hat-trick inside the first 20 minutes. Tom Joseph got one back for Randwick, but White, too elusive, too quick. And John Grant, too strong, into the corner. Bennett's back to Fitzpatrick, who earlier had squandered one. And by half-time, they had a 46-10 lead. Lockie Turner getting amongst it as he stood up Sean Foley and went over. And they were just too good everywhere. They used the full width of the field. They backed up superbly. Mitch Lees was quite brilliant. They were great. John Morrison, over to you.
Well, down with Nick White, and Nick, we're talking about the attack, but it was also Eastwood's defence, which was outstanding today.
Yeah, definitely. We've worked on both. Our defence and attack's been pretty good this year, and we don't want to just rest on our attack. Defence is going to win us championships, so we've got to work on that as well. There
were times on the line there that you just would not let Randwick anywhere near, and certainly not execute anything they were doing.
Yeah, that's something we've worked on all season. We played Sydney Uni here, and we didn't let them score, and it's something we're proud to do. So when we let them in their 22, we don't want to let them score easily. If they're going to score, they're going to score with our ball.
What sort of confidence is going through the side at the moment? It must be sky high.
Oh, confidence, but as well, we've had a couple of easy games, so you don't want to go in and get shocked by whoever wins tomorrow, because whoever wins tomorrow is certainly going to turn up grand final day, so not too much.
Got a preference?
No, I don't have a preference. It's probably nice to see Sydney Uni lose at some stage, but I'm not too fussed. I'm happy to be in a grand final. Hopefully we can go all the way.
Congratulations on your hat-trick of tries, and look forward to seeing you next week, Nick.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Adam.
And over to Dave Fitzpatrick. And Damien, I've got to start with obvious thing. The bottom try. The dive, it was spectacular, but you got to hang on to the ball as well.
Yeah, that's right. I think it was the sun. So I was a little bit sweaty. I've done a few rubbish dives over the last couple of weeks, so I tried to rectify that.
Damien, you must be pretty happy with the way the forward pack went. It was strong in the set-piece players, but also the breakdown work was excellent.
Yeah, we got pinged a little bit there early in the second half. We really wanted to commit to the breakdown, and then we actually decided to only commit one or two and then just get our defensive line. The set-piece was great. We tried to pride ourselves on that today. We knew they'd come out quite hard, but, the breakdown was very good as well.
Is next week about defence or attack?
I think it's about defence and, taking those few opportunities. In the grand final, you're only going to get a few, and we need to take them.
We'll look forward to seeing you next week. Congratulations on a great performance here at TG Milner, and see you at Concord next week.
Thanks, John.
Well, it was 46-10 at half-time, and Eastwood piled on another 31 points. They were just everywhere. Ethan Ford rewarded for a strong game, picking up a try for Randwick. But any time there was a turnover, Brett, they just capitalised.
A turner over, wasn't it? If you do turn it over, they did a couple of times, and Lockie says, thank you.
And nice to see him back, and a great weapon for Eastwood to take forward into the grand final, whether it be Uni or Manly they meet. And really, just about to score there, Randwick, and Hugh Perrott raced away.
Great speed. And he's even faster, Johnny Grant. Hat-tricks all over the place. The sooner they get this out of their mind, I think, the better.
So tomorrow it is Sydney Uni against Manly. It'll be here at TG Milner at 3 o'clock. We do hope you'll join us. We're looking forward to bringing it to you. Sydney Uni look this way, formidable, strong everywhere.
Excellent forward pack. They play very, very basic structured footy, but they do the simple things well.
I like 12 and 13, Carter and Kingston.
Good.
They're going to be tough to contain, but Manly's forward pack also formidable.
Yeah, they're huge. Big in the second row, big up front. That's where they'll try and take them on. Speed out wide.
Steph, over to you.
Great, thanks very much, Steve. Yes, it is grand final glory that awaits Eastwood after that comprehensive victory, completely dismantling the hapless Galloping Greens. Of course, we find out who they will play tomorrow, but stay with us right now, because coming up we've got more from the Australian Indoor Bowls Championships, and Lisa Phillips and Karen Murphy in the second women's semi-final. Then tomorrow, Sydney University continue their quest for back-to-back titles when they face the Manly Marlins in the second preliminary final here at TG Milner. Don't miss a second of that one. We look forward to seeing you then. Have a great night. Bye for now.